It deals with trying to look at the patient from the patient's point of view, patient-centered, a holistic view of the patient, which at the moment can be somewhat disparate from different directions. So to have the presence of a GP in the community mental health team is very important, as we know that the patients who have mental health problems also have sometimes quite serious physical ailments. Their life is shortened because of that.
Do we need more staff working in mental health services?
Well, I suppose we always need more. There are certainly vacancies available, but the issue with the vacancies available for registered mental health nurses is that worldwide there is a shortage of these worldwide, and I think one of the most important points that the mental health services have done this year is to actually create, together with the University of Gibraltar, a course specifically to train mental health nurses.
You do need some, clerical staff and more junior posts in the service.
Yes.
Yeah. So, as you say, it would make sense financially too, because it would free up the professionals to do the job that only they can do.
There are in Gibraltar about 40 individuals who find it very difficult to cope with everyday life.
40.
These individuals find it very difficult to live in the community without active support. And I think we owe it to them as a community to provide the best possible life possible for them. No?
They're vulnerable.
They're very vulnerable. And the issue with these patients, these individuals, is that they are discharged into the community, and within no time they're back in Ocean Views, and it's a revolving door issue. And we need for them to break out of that. And I think one of the solutions is basically assisted living, so that they will have a place where they can go, that they're taken care of, and they have the best possible life that they can, to avoid going into a crisis and then moving into Ocean Views.
If somebody lives in a place where there is 24-hour care, it doesn't mean that they can't go out. They go in and out and so on, but they have, meals are provided. There's always somebody there who will encourage them to take a shower, to take the medications, to get all that kind of support, 24-hour care. There are individuals who don't have a family network for whatever reason. Sometimes because maybe the individual, because of their mental health issues, is difficult or finds it difficult to live with others, or because the family doesn't want or can't support them in the way that they need. Everybody thinks it's a great idea that you have these buildings that are purpose-built to house people who, because of their age and so on, have certain vulnerabilities. And we think that it's the same thing that should happen for people with chronic long-term mental health issues who cannot cope on their own.
I think we're reaching the point where we need to make a decision. The whole of Gibraltar needs to make a decision as to where we are going. I think it is a way forward. It will basically release hospital beds. One of the main problems there is just loneliness. And the worst thing you can do with someone that has mental health problems is to leave them on their own with their own thoughts. And then say, well, tomorrow is exactly the same day. I mean, wouldn't it be great to have a level of community that you can share ideas, people can come in?
If they're living on their own, they're interacting very little with others. And I'm not saying that people who live in sandpits or whatever have an absolutely amazing life, but I know from feedback of relatives of people who live there that they say it's the best care that they've ever got since they've been unwell, and that it's their life, the quality of life is much, much better.